Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel Nursery to Varsity. You are watching the series of business writing skills, and in the first video you learned about what is business writing and how should you learn it. In this series of videos you'll eventually learn each and everything which includes in business writing. The first thing which we are going to learn today is drafting and redrafting. Let's learn about the terms and then about the do's and don'ts, and further we'll learn the examples of how to draft and redraft your document. So, what are the basic steps? Before learning the basic steps, let me tell you what is drafting. Drafting is writing a rough outline or a rough draft of a particular document you have to send to your boss or your colleague or to a professional organization. Now, to make it clear and concise, there are some basic steps. Let's see the steps. The first step is write your first draft. The second one is redraft it. The third one is complete your final draft, and the last one is proofread and send it to the reader. All the four steps are very basic in writing any document or any presentation. In the first step itself, you have to draft it just the outlines which comes to your mind. In the second step, you have to redraft it and write those steps which you have forgotten or omitted. In the third step, you have to give it the final touch, and at last, you have to send it to your reader. We learn these steps one by one in this video. So, how to write your first draft? It's the first step of writing. So, let's see the steps of writing the first draft. The first step is think about the outlines. Now, just think about it and write it as a rough draft. Don't forget to mention headlines and subheadlines separately. Also, write it in a particular sequence which you are going to mention in the document. Just write it very fairly, but write it in bullet points so that when you draft your final draft, you get easy outlines. Just think about all the outlines which you are going to mention in your first draft so that when you write your final draft, you don't forget any of the points. I hope you understood that how should you write your first draft. You just have to mention the outlines very clearly in bullet points or by making headlines and subheadlines. This is called your rough draft. Let's see the second step. The second step is what is redrafting. As the term itself clears that drafting again, that is redrafting, is a term used when the rough draft is drafted again. Let's see the steps of redrafting. Redrafting the rough draft or the first draft. The first step is design a concise and correct content. Just read that draft again and again and see clearly that if you have forgotten any detail or any point, include any necessary details which you omitted before. Make all your sentences concise and clear. Don't forget to check the spelling, grammar, and punctuation. And at last, rearrange the sequence of sentences or paragraphs by checking the flow. As I told you before, for the final draft, there is a particular sequence of your sentences. If there is any mistake in your first draft, while redrafting, you have to take special care of it because in the final draft, you don't rearrange the sequence. It is done in this step only. So, what you have to do in redrafting is just check the sequence, check the spelling, grammar, and punctuation, and make all the sentences concise, clear. Also, you have to keep special attention that mention those sentences which you omitted before. I hope you understood the second step of drafting. Let's see how to complete a final draft. So there are some steps of completing your final draft. Keep revising it and improvising it again and again. Implement the necessary corrections. Proofread it or get any suggestions from your colleagues or your boss if you're sending it to other organization. So I hope you understood the first 3 points, that you have to read it again and improvise it or take suggestions from some other person. And the important step is, don't forget to sign at the end of document. If it's a very official document, don't forget to sign it. And the last step is, proofread the whole document and send it to the reader. Now, I hope you understood the concept of drafting and redrafting. You just have to follow these steps, and your document or your presentation or your any formal document will be concise and clear. I hope you understood this video. You can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. If you have any query related to this video or any other video of our channel, you can contact our email ID, that is nurtover@gmail.com. For further series of business writing skills, continue to this playlist, and for more examples of drafting, watch the next video. Thank you for watching my video and stay tuned with our channel Nursery to Varsity.